Hi, everybody. I'm Dr. Gurunath Badiger, Associate Professor of English, Government Patriot College and PG Center, Dharwad. Today, in this video, I'll be discussing one of the important aspects of job skills, interview skills. Interview skills play a very important role in today's job market. And we will be talking about what is interview, why interview, types of interview, how to face interview, what are the important points to be remembered during the time of interview, some do's and some don'ts. So the whole session will be focusing on these important aspects of job interview for the job seekers. I would be sharing some of the slides here with you, and let me start my presentation with the slideshow. Interview skills. When we use the word skills, skills are always acquired, whether it is an art or skill. Skills are to be acquired. They are not something sent from the heaven or something that is inborn. Of course, through the process of acquisition, through the process of education, through the process of training, we acquire certain skills. So interview skills is one of the skills we need to acquire to face the job interview successfully. Let's discuss what is interview first. A brief introduction for you. I'm not going to theorize totally what is interview for you. And here you can see it's a word, a French word derived from entrevue, which means a sight between or seeing between, a kind of a meeting between. So interview means a meeting between persons for a specific purpose. A purposeful interpersonal communication between two individuals. We must understand this fact. A purposeful, there is a purpose. It's not a casual meeting of two or a group of people here. It's a meeting with a purpose. It means you attend an interview with a purpose. They take interview or they organize interview with a purpose. It is formal. It's a dyadic communication, but it is a formal one. There is nothing informal about it. So interview means a meeting between two individuals or more than two individuals for a particular purpose. So let's discuss two broad types of interviews here. One important thing that we are discussing, employment or job interview, and the other one is data collection interview. Data collection interview happens for conducting a survey or doing a research, a social research or a scientific research or whatever. But our priority in today's discussion is employment interview or job interview. Let's move on with this particular topic. What's job interview? It's an interview which is a formal meeting where one or two persons ask a candidate several questions. It may be a panel interview where one or two persons, or more than two persons, may be asking series of questions to a candidate. Again, the word formal is there. It's a meeting. It's a face-to-face meeting, we must understand. The main objective of the interview is to find out whether the candidate is suitable for a job. Because every company, corporation, institution, or an organization, if they want to recruit or appoint a candidate, they want to see whether the candidate is suitable for a job. It is also one of the opportunities for the candidate to see whether this job suits him or her. We should also, it doesn't mean that candidates should accept all the jobs they offer. It may not happen like that. Even the candidate may not like the institution. So in this process of interview, both get to know each other. The interviewer understand the interviewee, and the interviewee understand the interviewer. An interview is a cross verification of resume or job application sent by the candidate for a job. One more important aspect here, one must understand that we write a resume or send a resume earlier, and this is nothing but a cross verification of the resume sent by you. You have stated your goals, objectives, your strengths, your weaknesses. You have defined yourself. You have offered yourself for a particular job, and you have stated clearly in the resume about your skills, and they are to be tested or cross-verified in the job interview. Why do they conduct interview? Is another question. Why interview? Why can't they appoint on the basis of marks, or why can't they appoint on the basis of only the written examination? There are other aspects which are to be discussed, or which are to be, in fact, judged during the time of face-to-face interview. Even the greatest or the best services, IAS, IPS, or civil services, what we call, they conduct personality test even after writing examination, qualifying in both the examination. They will be called finally for a personality test. A face-to-face interview provides, an opportunity for both the employer and the employee to know each other. Broadly speaking, they conduct interview to judge the suitability of the applicant to the job. Suitability is very, very important. Suitability in terms of qualification, whether the qualification you acquired suits well with the job, knowledge, your academic knowledge, your general knowledge, and how it suits the present job. Say, for example, if you are an engineer and if you are called for a job of a clerk or an accountant, you may not fit into the service unless you are interested in it. So your qualification and the job should suit. Skills particularly. What kind of skills? Particularly professional skills and communication skills. So what kind of skills you have developed? If you are a teacher, do you have teaching skills? If you have you are an accountant, do you have accounting skills? If you are a call center executive, do you have enough communication skills? If you are in ITES industries, do you have soft skills? So skills are tested in interview. And experience. Experience is another important matter. If you have had a previous experience of a job, what kind of a job experience you have? What kind of experience you carry with you? Whether you have had a long experience or you have had a short experience, you have had a good experience, bad experience with a past occupation or profession. So these are also discussed in the interview. And one more important thing for conducting interview is to know, to judge the sense of values. Today, this is a very, very important thing. Sense of values. In the days when we are now talking about loss of values, in the days when we are talking about loss of morality, ethics, and all that. Now the employers begin to focus on this value system. They want to know in what kind of attitude, in what kind of values you believe. What is your attitude towards work? How do you take up? How do you consider this work? How do you consider this as a very important thing? Because every work is sacred, whether it is minor or major. And they also test your honesty. Honesty is very important. Honesty in every occupation. You must be so honest and loving that I remember Benjamin Franklin's words. If you are a sweeper, you must be the best sweeper in the world, so that even after 500 years, people should say that here lived a great sweeper. Sweeping is not a bad job, and when you are given a kind of a thing, you must do it at your best. It means, I mean to say that whatever may be the job is not bad, but how honestly, how sincerely you take it up is very, very important. And it is also conducted to identify your personality traits, your impulses, your strengths, your weaknesses, your attitude towards society, your attitude towards your friends, family, the present system, and your group behavior. They are all considered as a part of your personality, and some total of your personality is tested. And employers do expect something from the interviewee. Every company or organization, or for that matter, any institution, wants its employers to be happy, healthy, and good-hearted. I remember Ruskin's words, happy-hearted human beings. So good health plays a very important role. Even in a government recruitment, we see that the medical examination take place only to ensure that the candidate is fit and fine to join the services. So if you are young, fit, and fine, it's an asset to the organization, because health affects a lot in one's own service. And your attainments means you have attained some goals already, whether it is academic goal, how you have achieved. The process of your achievement is also screened here. Your intelligence is also, they expect you to reflect your immediate reaction, your immediate response to the question or certain decisions. Your aptitude also. Aptitude means they expect a good aptitude for this job you have applied. Unless you have aptitude for it, it's rather difficult to get you appointed. They also expect something about your interests, personality dimensions, your intellectual and social pursuits. They also expect you to be a man with better intellectual capacity and a better social being, and your disposition. And they also look into your exposure to the group, exposure to the team, and your capacity to work with the team is also very, very important. If you don't mix with others, we say that man is a social animal. But if you don't behave like a social animal, a team animal, or you can call it, uh, you know, in your behavior in the group is very, very important. And circumstances are also, of course, verified here. Your previous environments, your family circumstances, and how you come up in your life, or the causes for your failures or successes, various aspects, because they try to understand through these examples some total of your history and some total of your personality. Obviously, let's discuss something about types of interview. And there are different types of interview, of course. Broadly speaking, I was talking about data collection interview and job interview. These things, what I am showing you as about types of interviews. Panel interviews, it's a very common type of interview. Normally, we find what we are discussing today is more a panel interview. Most of the time, panel, board of appointment, we call it, panel of members will be there. 5 to 6 members will be on the panel, and they call the interviewee into the chamber and interview the interviewee. It is during this time the interviewee should be very much, cautious of number of members in the panel and try to answer to the questions asked by everyone. We have one more type of interview called telephone interview. It is very much prevalent in the developed countries, and at the same time now it has become inevitable even in our country due to COVID-19 situation, and due to almost a kind of a lockdown situation when transportation is not easier, movements are not restricted. In such a situation, many organizations, companies are now going ahead with telephone interview, video calling, Skype calling. So such kind of interviews are also conducted. So it also requires certain different skills, particularly during a telephone interview. Your voice should be clear, steady, and audible. We will be talking about the different interviews. There are lunch and dinner interviews also. These are kind of informal interviews. Sometimes you are invited to a hotel, or you are invited to a party. You are asked to sit across the table. You will be asked some informal questions, but there is something formal in the informal, and they will be observing you, your, your body language, your manners are also observed. Sometimes preliminary interviews are also conducted, because there are stages of conducting interview, only to screen you in the first section, and first stage we can call it. So this stage is called preliminary interview, only to screen the candidates. And sequential interviews are also conducted by some companies. Sequential means the candidate has to report to several people successfully. You have some you have to attend a finance department or HR department, or you have to attend interview for various purposes. So candidate should be very careful about the speech, behavior, and manners, as the interviewer is a prospective, as every interviewer is a prospective employer. Skill-based interviews are conducted only to test your skills. That's what I was just talking about. If you are a teacher, teaching skills. If you are an engineer, your engineering skills. If you are a doctor, your skills as a doctor. If you are a call center executive, your skills, your so a receptionist, whatever may be. So particular skills are demonstrated. Sometimes you are asked to demonstrate. You'll be given a chalk and duster and you will be asked to teach a poem or a story if you are attending interview for the post of a teacher. If you are attending interview for the post of an accountant, you will be given some sums, some examples, some problems. If you are attending interview for the sake of a guide in the tourism department, you may be asked to demonstrate your guiding skills. So for whatever job you are going for an interview, you must know, you must have acquired those skills. You must be ready for that. Academic interviews are also conducted. It is purely conducted to ask a question and answer format, and it's like writing an examination. Um, Here you are listening and your eye contact, clarity of ideas, depth of knowledge, and they are all tested. Personality interview is very important. Personality interview. I was just speaking about various interviews conducted even in the civil services, the state services, or even for higher jobs in corporates also. We come across this kind of interviews where this interview evaluates the interviewee as an individual in terms of his or her response to certain situation. The entire range of nonverbal communication are brought into play to demonstrate a well-rounded personality, some total of your personality, your gesture, posture, your attitudes, your behavioral skills, your sometimes you may be asked to attend a group discussion, sometimes you are maybe asked to present your views on a particular topic, you may be asked to deliver a speech, you may be asked to write a note. There are variety of things including your body language, your standing, sitting posture, your eye contact, your handshakes, everything is observed. It is sum total of your personality in capsule is decided in such interviews. It may go for a day or two also, depending upon the job essentials. See, we are now going to talk about the essential qualities required by a candidate to face an interview. One thing is very clear, my dear friends. Clarity plays a very important role. One must be very clear about what we are, what I stand for, what is my academic subject, what are my career objectives, what are my goals, what are my academic excellence, what are my skills. We must be very clear about it. We should not be changing. I remember Arnold's words, divided aims and falsified hearts. One should not have divided aims and falsified or paralyzed hearts. One should be very clear about your stated goals and objectives. And you must know, I do not say that you must be a rank holder, but you must be honest enough to have clarity about whatever you know. Whatever you know, you should have a clarity. Depth of knowledge and understanding across a wide range of subjects and issues. Depth of knowledge means on whatever you have attained a degree, on whatever you have claimed your knowledge, claimed that you know something more. Say, for example, if it is a major subject in your degree course, if it is, I give you just example. if you are, an MCom with financial management, or an MA with English, or B with mechanical engineering, you must have proper knowledge of mechanical engineering. You must have proper knowledge of your literature you have studied. You must have proper knowledge of financial management if you have claimed that you are a master's in it. That's a very important thing. We need to make certain preparations for such, interviews. We should not neglect those things. Here, I tell you, the danger is that most of the students study half of the syllabus, selective study, and attend the examination, and they neglect remaining half of the subject. Here comes the problem. So comprehensiveness is lost. Personality. I told you about personality. I told you something about attitudes, honesty, and professionalism, and one's ability to work. One of the biggest strengths of Indians is we are honest, we have strong attitude, we have ability to work hard. Whatever work is given, we are ready to do that. And they have exhibited strong professionalism. That's why Indian employees are respected across the globe for this particular quality, because we have learned it. Work your work, reward will follow. General awareness is another interesting thing one must understand. It is related to candidates' level of general awareness about current issues of national and international concerns. Most of the students do not even care for reading newspaper, magazines, or watching news channels or something. And something is happening, some historic event is happening in your own city, but you are not aware of that. Some history, sometimes world history is happening around you. You are not aware of that, and you do not show a sensibility to the things that are going around you. It should not happen. One has to be very much aware. I do not say that you must be very good at remembering all the sports events. I do not say that you must be very good at number of political parties or number of seats won or lost. Not necessarily. At least major things, major happenings around you, maybe socio-political or major happening which affects the lives. You must know Indian constitution, you must know Indian geography, you must know Indian science, Indian space, Indian space research. You must know something about in the changing acts, changing rules. You must know something about the economic condition. You must know something about what is happening to the health of the people around you and the globe, because we are all the part of this universe, part of this nation, part of this society. And that shows your attitude towards other people. Our living is very much attached to the living of others. That's why we must have minimum awareness about current issues. Communication skills play a very important role, because interview is all about communication skills. Interview is all about testing your thoughts, testing your knowledge in the form of words, verbal and non-verbal communication. So this is the medium through which you are expressing yourself, and you concisely you are evaluated for your skills. Verbal and non-verbal communication and body language exhibit the personality of an individual. You make a short speech, each and every sentence spoken by you, beginning with your greeting, good morning, sir, good morning, madam, good morning, everybody, to They're saying, bye, thank you very much, sir, bye. Thank you very much for a kind concern. From the beginning to the end, all your words are taken into consideration. The way you speak, the way you utter each and every word is consciously observed by the interviewers. Finally, it is your integrity. Integrity is not something related to interview. I tell you, integrity is something related to your personality. Integrity is a part of your belief system. How I remember Gandhi's words. Integrity means the harmony of word, deed, and creed. Word means what you say, deed means what you do, and creed means what you believe. Your sayings, your doings, and your beliefs should be same. You say something, do something else, and you believe in something else. That is not the integrity of a person. What you have written in the resume, you must be like that. You know, you have placed a beautiful photograph. It means that you must be according to that only. I mean to say that whatever you have claimed in the resume, you must be able to exhibit in the face-to-face interview. That's what we call integrity. Integrity is very important for every employer. Looks for consistency in what is written in the resume and the candidate's responses to the questions during interview. And there are certain, dress codes and body language one has to follow. And normally we need to, since I have already told you, interview is a formal process, formal meeting. It's not an informal meeting. It's not a party. It's not something, birthday party or something. You must dress to fit the job and job's culture. You must not be, wearing casuals, or you must not be wearing simply fashionable dresses. You must not be wearing tinted glasses, because they have to see your eyes, and eyes should be clearly seen. And if you wear tinted glasses, you are hiding something. Yeah. Eyes are the most expressive organs. No fad watches, distracting fad watches. No distracting ornaments. Heavy ornaments should not be, there should not be any disturbance. Whatever you wear, that should support you rather than distracting you. Or if you are wearing someone's coat or dress, it may not fit you. I tell you, nothing. It seems rather foreign. You must wear the dress which is comfortable to you and decent one. Body language is also one of the important aspects that interviewer looks at. When you enter the interview hall, they observe you. If you come, standing tall and with upright posture, when you come in, you say, good morning, sir, good morning, madam, good morning, everybody. You must stand tall. You must not be drooping, or you must not be showing some kind of disinterest or shivering kind of a thing. It should not happen. You must stand tall. eh? And remember Tagore's word, where the mind is without fear, the head is held high. Why should you fear? When you are honest, don't fear anybody. You must stand tall. It does not show your egoism. It does not show your pride. It shows your self-esteem. Okay? And little forward bending. When you sit in front of the interviewers, little forward bending, not total sitting like this, little forward bending. It's a good thing. It shows your interest. There is one interesting book you can read, Body Language by Ellen Pease and Barbara, I think. So it's a very interesting book where we come to know how body language speaks. Almost 65% of our communication happens through body language. Avoid cross legs. I know it's better you avoid